Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We'll let everybody get in and get comfortable in their virtual webinar space, and we'll get going here in a minute. All right. Let's get going. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about transforming retail execution with AI and AR. This is going to be a fun demonstration, definitely a demonstration-driven conversation today, but we're going to be looking at how AI-guided virtual selling is really making a difference for retail brands, helping them overcome common challenges to help every store visit count. We're going to take a look at turning fragmented data into clear insights. We're going to talk about shifting from product-focused selling to customer-centric selling and customer-centric conversations. And then we're going to look at a demo on using augmented reality that helps visualize store performance and drive more confident buying decisions. We'll walk through some use cases and we'll show you what brands are doing right now in retail. It's pretty exciting. I am joined today by Pitcher's founder and Chief Innovation Officer, Mert Yenter. Mert, thank you for being here. And also joined by Tom Stone, the Director of Sales for Pitcher. So as we get started, let's just take a little level set on the industry. So Mert, if you want to jump us to the next slide. Tom, kick us off. What are we seeing in trends in consumer packaged goods?
Perfect. Thanks, Bridget.
Thanks.
We'll get to the next slide. Thanks, Mert. So I think when we're looking at the market and we're looking at the trends that are forming, we're starting to see that there's some common issues which organizations are facing when they're looking at their retail execution. So we live in a world now where data and insights is available to us, but however, we're hearing more and more that organizations are struggling to utilize that data, or they've got limited data at the very beginning of their journey. So technology is now there, which is going to help you leverage that data, also build on it, so that you're not only able to understand what is it and why is an organization choosing to engage with my brand. So why does a customer choose to engage with my brand? You can then leverage that to help you increase your selling opportunity. We're also learning, and the market is showing that there is a lack of retail execution technology. 31% of the market is saying they're lacking retail execution technology. And the other is, and this one's quite exciting, I personally think this is one that we're going to really touch on today, which is around the lead time into critical promotional and pricing levers. And that's something which we're really going to touch on in today's webinar, is how do you make that, and how do you take that opportunity when there are promotional campaigns? How do you put yourself in the best position to execute when on site with the store managers? Now, the other ones is around skilled resource. Now, obviously, technology cannot help you hire skilled resource, but what technology can do is put all of your field force on a level playing field. So with technology now, you're able to control the way in which your colleagues work. And that's something which you'll see today, how bringing in a system such as Pitcher, what we're going to cover today, is able to help, not with the skilled resource, but it's going to be able to help with the way that that resource works. Thanks, Matt. On to the next slide, please.
This next slide is data that was pulled from a organization called the Promotion Optimization Industry, POI, where they asked the question, does your organization have the capabilities to gain efficiencies in retail execution? And you can see the answer was exceedingly no. Only 8% indicated that they're using guided selling at point of sale or in store. 5% said that systems determine the best resources to address the retail need. And again, a super low 5% are using AR to help sell on incremental items in point of sale. It's just a huge area of opportunity and efficiency driving in retail, as highlighted by the POI organization.
Thanks, Matt. And next slide, please. And we're just going to touch on the technology trends. And I think AI is the hot topic. I think it's been the hot topic for some time now. And what this data shows is that either organizations are investigating and are becoming more and more open to AI and the capabilities that AI is now able to bring. Or you have those innovators. Now it's a small number of users at the moment. You've got 2% of the market are already embracing AI. So they are those innovators. And I think it's fair to say that they're probably a little ahead of the curve. But what is exciting, and I think we all knew it, is the market is now ready for AI. So it's how do you bring AI into your organization? Thanks, Matt. Next slide, please.
Okay, can take this one. So as we looked at the industry, the need is clear that the data is not reaching the field. And when the field is having an interaction, whether it's a sales rep or a key account manager having the discussion, they're far from being consultative and comparative. So what I will focus on today is to show you how Pitcher solves that problem. So the idea is, as a sales rep having a device out in the field, how can I have an informed discussion when I'm having the store manager in front of me, that I would like to go over the state of the brands. So how the brands products that I'm trying to sell are doing compared to others. I also want to look at I want to explain the drivers of impact. So when it comes to the brands, how is this POS, point of sale, compared to others, both from the same chain and potentially other chains as well? And most importantly, how can I turn that comparison into a consultation that we can look at what else they could be doing and what type of uplift would be achieved if I am successful in consulting the point of sales. So that's what the demo will be about. And then when it comes to how, like this is more the how Pitcher makes that possible. There's obviously data. So the data, we ask our customers to bring their own data. This data is almost in all cases, I think it's fair to say even in all cases, it's raw, unprocessed, and scattered around. There are multiple systems, Excel files, CRM, a data warehouse, a BI solution, and some information that is lying around. So the data exists, but what they're struggling in is turning that data into information and insight. So that's where we come in. We harmonize the data, we make it digestible, and we give it to the end users in a human-friendly format. And then we allow the sales reps to have an insightful discussion with the point of sale. So if I were to summarize what you're about to see, you will see from the point of view of the sales reps, I'll be using Pitcher. In the backend, there is the marketing collateral, customer data, and some augmented reality files. But you won't see me as a sales rep clicking on a collateral button or data button or jumping between the applications. I will be using a single application, which is Pitcher in this case, and I will be utilizing the data that is already available and making it a successful pitch to the customer that I'm visiting. So now to see it in action, I'll bring my iPad to the screen. Let's go. Okay, so what you're seeing on the screen is a brand. It's one of my favorite. It's now based out of Zurich, so it's almost ice cream season. It's Ben & Jerry's. So I have my iPad here, and I have my Netflix, I have my CRM system, and I have Pitcher. When I'm using Pitcher, you see that it's already synchronized. So I could have been now planned my meeting, and I could be out in the field without connectivity. That's fine as well. In this case, I have my connection. I see the most relevant content for myself. I see the promotion of the month. I see the new products and some sales readiness content already available when I come to Pitcher. The next thing I do is I click on the pitch decks. And in the pitch decks, I already see my upcoming meeting, which is Walmart 1033, already prepared for me and ready to be executed. So remember, I'm a sales rep. I'm using my iPad. I have my upcoming meeting, and I click on Walmart 1033. In a few milliseconds, it already prepared the pitch deck for me with the current date, which is 2nd of April that you see on the screen. And I can see that it's already tailored for my discussion. So it starts from hello, insert customer name here. As I keep scrolling down, I see the year-to-date sales of this particular location. I see the comparison to similar locations. Remember, all I had to do was to click on Walmart 1033, and this data became available on the screen immediately. I can go even further. I can look at individual products, so the cookie dough versus the other products. I can see the market size, the sales trend that I have, consumer rating, Nielsen rating, etc. I didn't need to search for the data. Data has found me. If you remember the slide that I've shown prior to the demo, this data can be scattered around. So the sales trend is coming, in this case, from my BI solution. The customer data is coming from CRM. The consumer rating is coming from Excel sheets. But I, as a field user, I simply don't care where the data is coming from. The system pulls it together and gives me in a very nice presentation that already with the latest and freshest data pulled in. Then I keep scrolling down. As I go down, I see my priorities. And these are the products that have already been sorted into the priority. So here the priority is to start with the Twister popsicles. There is a promotion, 3, 4 to 6, running between 30th of March until 26th of April. It's going to include a stand for the end cap. I have similar products here, Breyers Vanilla and Marshmallow Sky. So I will open the Marshmallow Sky, where this promotion is ideally including a stand for the half end cap. When I open, my sales sheet is already populated as well. So for this product, the limited batch premium ice cream, Marshmallow Sky, it has the marketing material. And as I go down, there is not only the consumer demand and brand loyalty and the positioning, there's also the data-driven lift calculator. So what does it mean? Now, when I'm talking to the Walmart store manager, I can tell that person that your current sales is around $31,000. If you agree to allow us to install this stand at this end cap, that we will offer, or in similar locations, we have seen approximately 50% increase. So without the stand and with the stand, this is the additional uplift that awaits you over the next 3 weeks that this promotion will run. Again, this generally is at the, especially the promotions are handled at the key account level. It can be a key account chain like Walmart, or it can even be a mom and pop shop. It really doesn't matter. What matters is I have the promotions, the active promotions, the conditions, the existing the sales data, and the potential uplift that would result in convincing the store manager to install this stand. Then I go down. Last but not least, I have here 3 more boxes. So one of them is the explanation of the product. So this could be either seasonal. So this could be about the Christmas, about March Madness, or other promotional material that can be related to this particular product. Or it can be a static PPT, PDF document in case they exist. But even in those static documents, there are dynamic places like the current year sale and current year previous year growth, that even though it is a static PDF in this case, some parts of the document is dynamic and is filled in with the data. So what I'm trying to show here is from the migration, whether you have PDFs, PowerPoints, videos, HTML files, data, it really doesn't matter. In the picture application, where we become a single pane of glass, we make sure that the right places are filled in by the right data without any sales revenue. Then I continue. Now we talked about the stand. I have here potential stands. I'll pick this one, and I'll also pick up my iPad so you can see the office. It's my office right now. So imagine this being the Walmart, and I can install this stand here, and I can position. It can be multiple, so I'm going to install the next one here, and I can visualize the positioning in the store. What I can also do is, I'll use my mouse to show you the click. I can click on this info icon, and with the info icon, it's already overlaying a comparison between these 2 stands or even a potential 3rd stand that I haven't installed. So remember that lift comparison, the same thing is happening on the screen. So I can use the visualization and do the what if analysis, or even an A/B analysis like no stand, premium stand, and executive stand, while I'm using the overlay, and I can position the same stand multiple times.
Mert, we've got a question, and I think it's relevant to right now.
Sure.
Someone just asked, how quickly can reps learn to use these tools effectively?
That's a good question. There are two parts to that question. Number one is, as a sales rep and as a technology user, I'm explaining how it works, but at the same time, what I literally did is just 2 clicks, right? So I was in the home screen, I launched Walmart, and everything was there. So this is not just for demo. This is how our customers are training their sales reps as well. In the cases that we roll this out, one training by a local manager was enough because the data finds the sales rep. So when it comes to rolling out Pitcher from integration to the field, just one training is more than enough because it's already integrated. The other question could be from zero to ready to implement, like to the sales reps, how long would it take? In that case, if the data is ready, then Pitcher application coming in and pulling in the data, we are not looking at a 6-month, 12-month project. It's between 4 weeks and 12 weeks, depending on the data endpoint. So from zero to the sales reps using it is between 5 weeks and 12 weeks.
Great, thank you. And continue to add questions in the question box at the bottom. We'll get to the rest of them at the end. Okay, thanks, Mert.
Okay, great. Very good. Now I have discussed the product. So one of the actions that I have in the store is checked. So my store mission number one, convincing the customer to put this stand at this aisle is done. There are obviously other retail execution tasks. And here the idea is not that Pitcher replaces the existing retail execution or shelf recognition or planogram compliance check applications, but we can integrate with them. So when it comes to, for example, perfect store execution or other promotional aspects like shelf check, etc., as a sales rep, I don't need to jump out of Pitcher and find the same account, go to the same floor plan, etc. Within Pitcher, I can start my tracks application. Within Pitcher, I can start my store audit application, and I can start collecting the answers, compare the planogram, take pictures, and do shelf recognition without leaving the application. So here, what we are really obsessed with is the rep adoption. That's what we see, and that's one of the key factors that make us successful, because everything is so compact, and there's really very little room for error when it comes to the rep training and rep actually using the solution. Then I'll keep going down. I'm almost done. The last part is the traditional sales enablement, so showing the right content at the right time. Because the system was following my steps, what I had been discussing and which products were relevant to the customer, it already put together a deck. And then afterwards, either I can show this deck right now to the customer using it like an integrated PowerPoint or PDF viewer, or I can share this link with the customer with one click, and I can send this link via WhatsApp, via email, or directly to the customer. And then they can have a look at the content. They can download the sales material on their own time, and I will be notified as they use the application. Last but not least, we talked about the AI and AR. So the system already knows where I am geographically. So the geofencing is in place. It can pull in in this case, it's Ben & Jerry's. It can pull in the festivals. Or if it's, for example, alcoholic beverage, it can pull in the tasting events. Or if it is some other product, it can pull in the concerts from Ticketmaster, Ticket Corner, etc. So the application can be integrated with not only the customer's data endpoints, but also public APIs like weather, festivals, tickets, and other events. And that can also be presented within the app. And here, because of the sunny weather right now in Zurich, it's recommending me the Magnum Star Chaser product.
Looks delicious.
It does. I think that concludes my demo. Any questions? Please keep them coming.
There is one, Mert, which is, do we have any metrics to show how many displays are being sold over any given period of time with our customers?
From the existing customer implementation, we can't share that value, but the solution provides, so one part that I skipped due to time limitation, I'll just go back up to my recommendations, which is here, priorities. So as I'm explaining this product, there's this little checkbox. When I do click on that checkbox, it pulls in the promotion, and I can save this execution. And then we can build this report, and the customers can pull in the data that this display has been executed for Marshmallow Sky. So that reporting goes back to the data warehouse or the CRM that the customer has. So we not only have the show and tell, but also the data flow back, comparing the presentation, marketing activities, and the actual sale and execution. Because in this case, it won't be me installing the stand at the point of sale, it will be my colleagues. So I create the demand, I collect the order, someone else delivers, and another user or myself can come back and check if the stand that I have executed has actually been installed. If not, what is the problem? Has that been removed? Was there a problem in distribution, etc.? And so the integration with the data endpoints are not unidirectional, but is actually bidirectional.
Perfect. I don't know if we've got any other. Oh, there's one more that's just come in, Bridget, as well.
What challenges do companies face when they implement AR for retail execution? What should they be on the lookout for?
For any type of technology, so it's not just AR, AI, as I hopefully have demonstrated. This is more than just alphabets, letters after AI, AR, VR. This is about an adoption question. Like as a sales rep, my job is not to use picture. This is not my job definition, job description. My job is to execute the promotions at the retail store. Therefore, the technology part of it should be as intuitive and as non-disruptive as possible. So that's why we are so obsessed with the rep experience. Really, it should be so simple that it's all there. I simply click on this giant mark, and for the rest of the time that I spend at the store, I do what I do. I shouldn't be using picture to create a pitch deck. It shouldn't be an additional 10%, 15% of my time. That's why the customers, that's why we see north of 90-95% adoption at our customers, because it is so intuitive. Using picture is just part of their daily activities, and that adoption and the non-disruptiveness of the technology has been traditionally the challenge, where with the UI and UX of picture, we try to address.
Thank you. We've got one other question. Onboarding time. You sort of touched on this mid-presentation, but onboarding time for technology like this, how quickly can reps be up and running?
For the integration, I mentioned, I think, earlier, so the data needs to be there in all the large customers that we work in CPG. It's less about data not being there, it's more about data being scattered. So in the two parallel universes, one, data needs to be harmonized first on, take your pick, on Salesforce or Tableau or somewhere else, which takes anywhere between 6 to 12 months before a solution like Picture can plug into that. In the other alternative universe, which is the universe that we are in, where the data remains where they are, a solution like Picture comes in, and it can literally hook up into multiple 10, 15 data sources at the same time, and can bring all that data into the field. There we are looking at a time frame in weeks. So whether it's 4 weeks, 12 weeks, it really doesn't matter. But the data synchronization is done on the client side, on the iPad, removing a lot of the hurdle on the IT project and the backend efforts that are needed for the CPG companies.
Super, that's great. I think that's all the questions we have. So you want to jump back out to the last slide? Thanks, Mert.
Of course. I was using Picture to pitch Picture as well. So this is also Picture. I'll go back to the last slide.
That's great. That's all the content we have today. Thank you, Mert, for leading us through the demo. Here is our contact information. If you have further questions or want to see this in action for your brand, reach out to one of us. We'd love to take you through this and how it will really apply to your brand and your retail stores for maximizing your execution.
Great.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Everybody, have a lovely evening. Great afternoon.
Thank you.
Nice.